Do you remember the early 2000s? There was this one red box of cereal that promised a totally revolutionary way to lose weight. Well, today we're going to unpack the promise versus the reality of a diet that completely took over our TVs and our kitchens, the Special K diet. So what was it really all about? This was it. This was the promise, the hook that pulled millions of people in. Lose up to 6 pounds in just 2 weeks. I mean, what a powerful and simple claim, right? It almost felt too good to be true. And for so many of us, it was just, irresistible. So yeah, that was the big headline. But what was the diet behind all that hype? Let's break it down and see what was really going on. All right, first up, let's talk about that 2-week promise. What exactly was Kellogg's proposing here? What were they selling us? Okay, let's be real. At its heart, this was a marketing campaign with a diet plan attached. The whole concept was incredibly simple. Just swap 2 of your meals every day with a bowl of Special K cereal, and you'll kickstart your weight loss. You know, this wasn't designed by nutritionists for your long-term health. It was designed by a brand to get you a quick result. So how on earth could eating more cereal actually lead to losing weight? Well, the way it works is surprisingly straightforward. Look, there's no magic here, it's just simple math. The entire diet works by creating a calorie deficit. Think about it. If your typical lunch is, say, 600 calories, and you swap that out for a 200-calorie bowl of cereal, boom, you've just saved 400 calories. Do that twice a day, and suddenly you've got a significant daily deficit, which, as we know, is the most fundamental principle of weight loss. So a typical day on this diet was really, really prescribed. You'd have cereal for breakfast, and then cereal or maybe one of their shakes for lunch. For snacks, you had their bars or some fruits and veggies. And then finally, you got one sensible dinner. This rigid structure basically took all the guesswork out of at least 2/3 of your day's meals. So when you see how simple that structure is, it's really no surprise that this diet just blew up and became massively popular. Let's break down the perks that made it so tempting for so many people. I mean, the appeal was just undeniable. First off, it promised quick results, which is a huge motivator for anyone. It was super convenient. You just pour a bowl of cereal. That's it. The whole plan was simple and structured, so no decision fatigue. It even kind of introduced this basic form of portion control. And on top of all that, the cereal was fortified, which gave you the impression that you were making a healthy choice. It really did hit all the right notes for an easy way to get into weight loss. But, and you knew there was a but coming, that's only one side of the story. For every one of those appealing perks, there was a potential pitfall hiding right beneath the surface. And this is the reality behind that promise. Right, so that convenience, it came at a cost. Relying on cereal for 2 meals a day meant you were probably missing out on crucial things like protein, fiber, and healthy fats. And that quick loss, a lot of that was just water weight, which comes right back as soon as you stop. And let's be honest, eating cereal twice a day gets old fast. Hello, taste fatigue. But maybe the biggest issue of all, it was a one-size-fits-all plan that was built on processed foods, which is just rarely a sustainable path to real health. So, all of this brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Was the Special K diet a genuinely helpful kickstart to a healthier lifestyle, or was it really just another crash diet hiding in a clever marketing box? You know, to really see the difference, let's just compare it to a gold standard for healthy eating. Something like the Mediterranean diet. The contrast is just stark. The Special K diet is all about processed foods, with super low variety and a pretty poor nutrient balance, making it fundamentally unsustainable. On the flip side, a plan that's based on whole foods, balance, and variety, that's the foundation of long-term health. And that really brings us to the most generous and useful way to look at this diet. You know, it was never, ever meant to be a permanent solution. Its only real value might have been as a short-term motivational kickstart, a way to see a quick result on the scale before transitioning to a truly balanced and sustainable way of eating. Ultimately, the Special K diet is a perfect case study in the powerful allure of the quick fix. It promised a simple solution to a really complex problem. And it leaves us with a critical question to think about. When it comes to our long-term health, is the quick fix ever really the right fix?